What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you like this video and share it because I'm going to talk about Russell Wilson again. I know I've spoken about him recently and other times as well, him and Ciara. But this to me is a topic that really needs to be looked at. And I believe that Russell Wilson could learn a lot from the Carmelo Anthony situation. Now, Carmelo Anthony, NBA player, he was in Denver, and that's where he started his career. They drafted him. He was a star for them. They were making appearances in the playoffs, but they weren't gaining the level of success that you would think would be the reason why Carmelo Anthony would want to leave, right? You think that Carmelo Anthony wants to leave because the team is not winning. You know, he wants to go to a winning franchise. Like LeBron, when he left Cleveland, he went to Miami to team up with his buddies because he wanted to win a championship. That was not Carmelo Anthony's motivation. Carmelo Anthony's motivation was to appease his wife. Lala wanted to be a celebrity, not just the wife of an NBA player. She wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be an actress, or she what she's doing now, right? She wanted to be in a bigger city to film their reality show, because right after he got traded to New York, that's when she had the reality show and chronicled her sort of leap into acting, right? And the relationship had its ups and downs throughout that time. There was even a rumor that she slept with a rapper, which she never really denied. She never really addressed it or denied it. But fast forward, the relationship takes a turn. They separate. She files for divorce. And one of the differences is that her acting career is in a much better place than it was when he left Denver to go to New York. And the thing about Carmelo is that I think he actually liked Denver. Now, he could probably say now he didn't, but he was the man there, right? He was the guy there. He didn't leave Denver because he wasn't winning enough and he wanted to go to a franchise that were winning. The New York Knicks weren't winning anything. They traded a good bit to get him. Okay? So he was going to be in the same situation he was in when he was in Denver. Wasn't going to be any different. It's not like he's going to a franchise that had just won a championship. So he did that for Lala. And I can see the same correlation with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson now is in a situation where he's with a franchise that drafted him, took a chance on him. He wasn't drafted high, but when he got there, he was worth that draft pick. And they rewarded him, gave him a very lucrative contract. And they won a Super Bowl there. They've had success. Now, they've had a bit of an up and down last couple of seasons. The offensive line has not been the best, but he has a very good head coach in Pete Carroll, right? They've been kind of in rebuild mode a bit in certain parts, especially on defense. But that's still a franchise you can bet is going to be competitive. But here you have Russell Wilson, who's now in the same situation Carmelo's in, where now he wants to get traded. Now, he's not publicly stating it, but behind the scenes, he's giving them a list of teams that he's comfortable going to. And I believe New York is the destination. The New York Giants are on another head coach who may not be sold on Daniel Jones and may seek to trade him. And I believe that Ciara wants to be in New York. I would say either New York, or Dallas, maybe Houston, a big market city. All right, even though Seattle's a bit of a big market, but it's out there in the Northwest. It's not big enough for her. You know, she wants to be in a big city. She wants to have that sort of married to NFL quarterback in New York type of thing, you know, or maybe even a Chicago, right? They're gonna have a new head coach. Is he really comfortable with their quarterback situation? Could he be looking to upgrade that situation? Even though I think the guy that they have, Justin Fields, I believe he has talent, but he needs the right type of offense and offensive coach that can bring out the best in him, but we'll see. And I'm seeing a lot of similarities here. And I think I've kind of spoke on it a little bit, but to me, there's just no denying that Ciara wants to be in a bigger market with Russell. I believe she's gotten into Russell's ear because Russell, I think, is very happy in Seattle. Now, the offensive line ain't the best, but he hasn't complained about it. So we can't say that that's been a problem. Pete Carroll seems like an easygoing coach. I don't think that he's been known to get at people. I don't think he's been known to be adversarial with his players, right? So what's the problem? You're going to go to an even worse team with a worse coach in a worse situation. Now, there's been franchises that have been able to make turnarounds. Cincinnati has made a turnaround. San Diego's made a turnaround with their coaching situation, their quarterbacks. But the difference is they drafted those quarterbacks. They hired offensive head coaches who can coach those quarterbacks up. Russell is not a rookie or a first-year, second-year player. He's a veteran. And he's going to come with a huge contract. Those rookies don't come with big contracts as of yet. So he's going to be bringing his contract and his ego and his wife with him wherever he goes. And a franchise is going to have to deal with that. Some first or second-year head coach is going to have to deal with that. It'll be different if he's going to go to a veteran head coach. But ain't a lot of veteran head coaches. There's a lot of new blood when it comes to head coaching in the NFL. There's been a lot of changeover with these teams. So even though I think that Russell is not an uncoachable guy, he's going to be bringing his brand wherever he goes. And I think that has a little bit more to do with the fact that I think that I think he does as well, wants to promote his brand in a bigger city, but I think it has more to do with Ciara. I really do. He wants to make her happy. He wants her to feel good about where he is. He wants to expand his brand and expand her brand. But there's going to be a cost. Pete Carroll is one of the few veteran head coaches that I still feel like could win in the playoffs or win a Super Bowl. Ain't a lot of them in the NFL. There's a lot of unproven coaches in the NFL. And he's going to end up going to a situation where he's not going to thrive as much as he thinks he is. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, I feel like have an offensive system that may fit Russell Wilson. They have a disgruntled quarterback. They could end up trading quarterbacks. That could be what they do, even though Seattle's asking for a huge amount. They looking for multiple first-round picks. Like they're not just going to give him up for nothing because they don't want to trade Russell. They don't want to get rid of him. Now, there was talk that he may have wanted more input on players coming in or more decision-making in the front office. I don't know if that's true. I've heard that. Again, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be Tom Brady. You're not going to have say-so or who comes in the organization. You're just not, So I just think that Russell wants to expand his brand, but I think it has a lot more to do with appeasing his wife. And I just hope that he doesn't do something that's going to put a stumbling block in his career. Because last season, he was injured. Now, Russell's, I believe, had injuries before, but, he set out some games. And, the older you get as a quarterback, the more those injuries are going to be harder to come back from. Even though Russell, to me, he's a healthy guy. I mean, that wouldn't bother me if I was a team looking to trade for him. But you go to the wrong team, the wrong system, the wrong chemistry, it could be disastrous, you know? Even with, you look at Aaron Rodgers, even at his age, even him being disgruntled before last season, they still want him back. And they drafted a guy in the first round to replace him, who, by the way, it looks like buyer's remorse because they're not even sold on him anymore to be Aaron Rodgers' replacement. That's the NFL. You know, these coaches that, you know, they have these great veteran quarterbacks, and once they realize what's behind them, if they leave and they're going to actually have to coach up another guy to be a starter, you know, these guys may not, you know, be as confident in their abilities. Now that could be now again, Russell's went through offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator. The guy's smart, he'll pick up the system. I don't think that'd be a problem, but I just hope that he's not putting his wife's happiness before his own, because I believe he's comfortable. He likes being in Seattle. But again, if your wife is in your ear saying, you know what, we could grow our brand 2-3 times more if we're in a New York, if we're in a Miami, because Miami may be looking to move their quarterback, you know, maybe even to a Houston, New York. They want, like, he has that in his ear. He has to hear that from his wife, who's telling him we could be a bigger brand together if we get out of Seattle. But you got to be careful what you wish for. You definitely have to be careful what you wish for. You have to do what's, listen, you want, you know, if you're married to a woman, you don't want to be in a marriage to a woman that's disgruntled, you know, that's not happy with her situation. But I don't think that's the case. I just think that Ciara's thinking about her brand more so than the overall fact that, you know, he goes to a different team, let's say a New York. He goes and plays for the New York Giants. He's going to be playing for a guy who just got there, especially if he gets traded before next season. He's going to have to learn a whole nother playbook. He's going to have to build chemistry with new receivers, new offensive line. You don't know what you have there. You don't know what you have there. And the fact that this has been a conversation for the last couple of years, and it has gotten, the talk of it has gotten louder and louder, lets you know that there's a lot of validity to it. But hopefully for Russell Wilson's sake, he makes the best choice. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next video.